Is learning or practice more important? Hey, what's going on, guys? It's No Shoes, and we're back with another one. And today we're going to discuss the learning circle, or the learning cycle, as you might prefer to call it. This is a theory of learning that I came to on my own, but I'm sure I'm not the first person to think of it. And there are other good supporting resources out there if you are to look for it. But the basis of the learning circle is that learning essentially has three stages, right? You have the actual learning, the gaining of knowledge, the reading it out of a book, the watching a video, the you are informed of this information and now you have it. The second piece is your practice, using that information. However it may be. Maybe you're identifying muscles in the body. Maybe you're learning to freestyle and you've been watching my other videos. Maybe you're learning to produce music. Maybe you're learning to draw. Whatever it is, the actual time you take to sit down and draw, to freestyle, to make music, to write lyrics, whatever it is, the actual time you're practicing that. And then we come to the step following that, which is understanding, which understanding is arrived at from now having applied what was once, I guess, theoretical knowledge and using that in your day-to-day life through your practice. When you arrive back at understanding, you will learn deeper details about the topic at hand. And then where does that bring us back? We're back at learning. And then you come back to practice, and you're practicing now with those deeper details in mind. And this cycle can just happen over and over again. I've seen it in myself with my journey learning to write music, starting from freestyling over beats that other people made to learning to make my own beats, to writing lyrics and the music and mixing and mastering and all of that stuff. Speaking of which, a new song is coming out, No Shoes Gang Cypher Volume 4. There's 12 of us on it. It's a global project all the way from Washington State to Australia, with me right in the middle in Maryland. And it was a fantastic time. I produced it. I wrote my verse. Everybody else wrote their verses. And I mixed, I mastered, I produced it, all of that fun stuff. But that was something that I arrived at after many, many cycles of the learning circle, of sitting there and freestyling, of sitting there and writing lyrics, of sitting there and producing music. And within that, first I learned. First I sat in a classroom and was taught how to use Ableton. Then I went and used Ableton a bunch. And then through using Ableton a bunch, I began to understand it and learn deeper details about it. And then I incorporated that new knowledge gained from practice back in to my practice. And you just get this continuous loop going on where you're constantly feeding into becoming better. But something that I discovered while I was working on this video and just doing a little bit of background research to make sure I'm not out here claiming to know everything, was the 1% of 10,000 hours rule. So a while ago, I can't remember the guy's name, somebody wrote a book where essentially, while an arbitrary number, it is a good marker, is the 10,000 hour rule. People become a master of something after 10,000 hours. Well, I saw another article written by Adam Morelli, who was discussing that within those 10,000 hours, there are 100 hours of learning and 9,900 hours of practice, applying what you learned. So when you're in the learning circle, I see a lot of people get stuck in the learning phase. They're always reading that next book, looking for that next mentor, just always searching for that next piece of information as if that is going to be what makes them better. That's going to be what makes them great. And that's just never going to be the truth. There is a good amount of learning to do, right? Like, don't just avoid information. Don't be ignorant. But if you are constantly reading about other people and what they did, if you are constantly looking out to the world to bring you information, you will not be spending enough time applying it to actually get the proper benefit out of it. So, with that said, while it is a cycle, I do believe that practice is the largest piece of that pie chart. So, when you learn something new, remember, the goal is to be bad at it, because if you were good at it, it wouldn't be new to you. And practice should be the largest portion of what you're spending your time on. And through that practice, you will end up learning more regardless. And it is okay to go out and seek new information, but don't get trapped in that, because what worked for them might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for them. So, this is a short one today, just a little bit of an overview. If you guys are interested in hearing me talk more about music, learning, creativity, whatever it is that you guys might need help with, might have questions about, please let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, No Shoes Gang Cypher Volume 4 comes out 10/10/25, Friday, October 10th. I'm stuttering over all my words today, but I think you guys get the picture. Much love to everybody in the No Shoes Gang. Go hit pre-save down in the link tree in the description, and I will see you all next time. Much love.